So literally, this could mean nothing or everything. It depends on your point of view and what your necessities and your value experience and your expectations coming here will dictate. But we'll do the best. Because the XY axis is how we even record the economy, so it's how we power the economy, because we run in cycles. And a company has a calendar cycle, a fiscal cycle, it runs in trimesters, it runs in months, it runs in weeks, it runs by the hour. You divide it and subdivide it, and you're still using the same thing, the XY axis. And you measure your profit against the time and amount of energy that you put, and that's called the investment, and you know your ROI, and you still have to use the XY axis, right? Let's go a little bit deeper about this XY axis, because this XY axis, remember I told you this is how the universe works? Well, it does. What you're seeing now is a little squiggly line, that's the symbol of life. That's the golden rule. And the golden rule states that things spiral in time, creating space. Hence, we grow. Just like the echo, or my voice being directed. We grow inside. There is a pregnant woman here. Can you come here, please? Could you please come here? Your baby is going to be on a talk about life even before he's born. Form follows function. This beautiful form from which we all dropped is this one. And that's how that baby grew. Thank you. You know, when we produce stuff, we have props coming. It's like life is magic. You never know when you're going to find a prop and you can make the most of it. Thank you so much. And the golden rule is something we've been tinkering from the beginning. And the golden rule of proportion is the knowledge acquired by human after learning and experiencing the laws of physics that govern our universe and our daily life. And it goes from the human body to a flower to everything that man has observed. It follows this. It even works to go into orbit and to go around orbits and to use the orbits of other celestial bodies to create more energy and speed and to reach our destinations. So even the solar system obeys the golden rule. And guess what? We know how to drive it, and it's called an engineer. This is the person that steers the engine. Look at this. We've constructed this whole society. So you see, now we're getting closer to the culture. We went back, and now we're going forward. You see all those zeros and one is because there is an absolute in the middle, and that's how we program computers, because we live a binary existence of on and off. And look at everything that we do to gather electricity, to gather speed and momentum, to gather signals, to grow buildings, to dig on the earth, to move the earth. We've been doing this and celebrating it forever. And this is the reason why. Because the XY axis starts with time. And time evolves and revolves, and that should give you a clue. Evolves, revolves. And guess what? George Lucas agrees. Because you have the Death Star, and it's an absolute zero with a death beam. And you have the Falcon, which is the same thing, but the opposite. Instead of 3D, flat. And you have the X in the X-wing. And check out this guy. Darth Vader has exactly the opposite of that. But this is a zero with parentheses and a zero with parentheses open. It's tick-tock, ping-pong. They're the opposites. So, how is this practical? In order to understand return on investment, we have to understand time and the amount of energy required for things in time to happen. So, let's lay some foundations. It takes money to make money, and time is money. We know that. But money comes back in time, and money is time. Wow. So money is like a media and a medium. So it can be manipulated, and it could be amplified or diluted at will. That's what we invent technology. So what does all this have to do with the light at the end of the tunnel and the light at the end of the funnel? Well, that just tells you that things pass from one state into another state, and they go through a zero, and they see some form of light. Just like that baby. If you ask that baby just when he came out, if he knew to talk, he'll say, I just saw the light. Because he was inside darkness, and he saw the light. So isn't that nice to know that people say that we'll see the light when we go? It's just how we started. So again, it's an absolute zero. Speaking of which, I'm in love with life. And I think most people are. But understanding life is being in love with life. And there's a big difference. That things that look like that, because that sperm impregnated that ovum, and it made a hole. It saw a light. And then this grew, this human, and it went through a tunnel, and it came out like that. Well, guess what? Energy materializes when it passes through a quasar in the universe. And a quasar does the same thing. And then it becomes matter, tangible. Black hole, they don't all eat up. Some of them go and throw out. We're starting to measure time using quasars instead of nuclear clocks because they're very reliable. So if you're reliable telling time, you're reliable with life. And you're a constant source of life. And there is a mechanic and dynamics to the process and progress of life in time and space. And this is the mechanic. This is first petroleum, then is distilled, then it's made into a plastic, then is made into a little pellet that then is inflated, and then it has water, and then, only then, after it reaches through all the funnels of distribution or production, a product in your hand. But before that, it was water and petroleum, separate. And since we love to have fun with culture, well, we think that the Wizard of Oz is about the magic of life. That there is a funnel, and it's the road that you have to walk in time to make things happen. And at the end, there is a big Oz, is that big absolute zero. And you may say, I don't see that there. Well, maybe you see it here. And it's about the wizard and the wizardry of human race, in our mind, mastering the O. Because in the next one, you'll see it. And the mechanics are very simple. That things get bigger when things evolve, hence they go up. Or things shrink when they decay. But since we want to talk about the positive, the yellow brick road is the necessary steps that you need to take in time in order to reach the other side of the absolute zero and have your marketing plan become a reality. You might think we're nuts, but we've been doing this for so long that there is enough proof that this is going on forever. This happened in a cave, which is a zero. That's pushing a little, but still, what you can negate is that we started in a cave doing that, and when time passed, things rose and evolved. And from this, that this was impressive enough, we have this in the present. And this was Renaissance. This was heavy-duty stuff. Look at what we're doing, and we think that we suck right now. And look at this, catacombs, Renaissance again. Rome, height of Rome. Look at the catacombs we built now. Look at this thing. So, you see, we're not decaying, we're evolving, and we're growing. We're doing just fine. Because we've been using this technology, and it reassures us that we can shape the future, literally.